First of all, I'd like to thank Vlad and Wendy for organizing this amazing conference. Sorry. I feel that this topic of the possible is really the best framework for my research. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. So my goal today is to discuss how a transformative experience can help people become aware of and explore new possibilities in their lives. And a second objective of my talk will be to reflect on the potential of phygital technologies as a catalyst for personal transformation. So let's start from introducing the very concept of transformation. You know that personal change is generally considered as a gradual and linear process, which occurs either as a result of maturation over the lifespan or as the result of a therapeutic intervention. However, research from different disciplines, including not only psychology, but also anthropology, philosophy, suggests the existence of a second type of change, transformative change, which involves a radical and long-lasting shift in the individual core beliefs, values, and attitudes. So this type of radical change is sometimes triggered by experiences, not by chance defined life-changing experiences that have the capacity of not only changing what individuals know and value, but also how they see the world. So for these characteristics, transformative experience are gaining increasing attention, not only in psychology, but also in neuroscience and philosophy. So a paradigmatic example of transformative experience is the famous short novel by Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol, which tells the personal transformation of Ebenezer Scrooge. And, you know, everyone knows this tale, so I'm not going to go into details, but the encounter with the three ghosts of the past, the present, of the future will retrace Scrooge's existence, showing the misery of his present. And after these encounters, Scrooge wakes up and, you know, he has a brand new outlook on life and is grateful for being given a second chance. So that's transformative experience. Another transformative experience is the so-called overview effect. Since almost 60 years, when Russian cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first man in space, so astronauts returning to Earth have systematically reported this unusual phenomenon. It's a kind of a cognitive, emotional, and even spiritual shift in their internal worldview that leads these astronauts to a sense of new unity and awareness of the troubles of our planet. So this is a quote from astronaut Edgar Mitchell. By the way, he died in very recently, 2016, I guess. He is recalling the life-changing moment that he experienced as his spacecraft was returning to Earth. So, although in principle, all experiences have the potential of changing us, we know intuitively that some experiences bear more transformative potential than others. According to the philosopher Laurie Paul, who wrote a groundbreaking book on this topic, an experience can truly change us if it is both epistemically and personally transformative. So an experience is epistemically transformative when it allows an individual to grasp new knowledge that would be inaccessible to the knower until he or she has such an experience. For example, hearing a sound or seeing a color for the first time. However, there are experiences that not only teach us something totally new, but that also change our viewpoint and our core preferences in life. For example, the experience of having a child not only provides you new knowledge about what it's like to have a baby, but I see Vlad is nodding for obvious reasons, and but this very experience can also change a person's values, priorities, and also self-conception in ways that are deep and unpredictable. So, from a psychological perspective, transformative change is often associated to a specific experience, emotional experience, that we define transcendent experience. These are transient mental states that allow individuals experience something greater than themselves, reflecting on deeper dimensions of their existence and shaping, lasting spiritual beliefs. And a common characteristic of such transformative, transcendent experiences is that they often involve deep feeling of awe, a complex emotion in which fear is blended with astonishment, admiration, and wonder. So, awe is a compelling emotional experience, which has, of course, philosophical roots in the domain of ecstatics and religious or spiritual experiences. But the contemporary psychological understanding of awe comes largely from a seminal paper written by Kellner and Haidt back in 2003. According to their definition, awe encompasses two key appraisals: the perception of vastness and the need to mentally attempt to accommodate this vastness, this new encounter, into existing mental schemas. So, by definition, transformative experiences like moments of awe, they are rather rare and unexpected defining moments in life. But what if we could actually design experiences that facilitate or invite personal transformation? Take, for example, the overview effect. What if we had a technology capable of simulating such an experience? Could we then try to use the overview effect to inspire awe and wonder in people? Computers are now embedded with a huge range of materials and artifacts, and take roles in almost aspects of our life. Indeed, we are not just using technology, we are living in phygital ecosystems in which the boundaries between the physical and the digital space become blurring. Actually, augmented reality, Internet of Things, robotics, artificial intelligence, they are transforming our living spaces like houses, offices, public spaces, as in this video, and so on, in digitally enriched environments that blur the distinction between what is real and what is simulated. So in these hybrid ecosystems, objects, tools, but even our own body can be turned into programmable interfaces, creating totally novel ways of experiencing the physical and social space. I think that the metaphor of reality as an app may be a more defining feature of these phygital spaces. What I mean by this metaphor is that the integration of computers in everyday objects and the increasing bidirectional information flow between the digital and the physical is transforming our surrounding environment. It's totally altering our experience. So a further trend towards phygital reality concerns the emergence of what I call symbiotic technologies. For example, neuroprosthetics devices, neurobiofeedback, which are enabling a direct connection between the computer and the brain. I believe that soon these brain-computer interfaces, immersive virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and their various combinations will allow users to create personal alterations of experience. So just as nowadays we can download and install a number of plugins for example, apps to personalize the experience with software products, maybe soon we may be able to download and install new extensions of the self, or like experiential plugins, which will provide us with a number of options for, altering, replacing, simulating our sensorial, emotional, and cognitive processes. Such mediated recombination of human experience will result from the application of these existing neurotechnologies that we, as neuroscientists and psychologists, we are testing in the lab in completely new domains like education, marketing, sports, and so on. So in the last few years, I and my postdoc, Alice Chirico, we have carried out several studies to understand the transformative potential of technology. In our initial studies, we sought to understand whether, for example, virtual reality could be used to induce awe in laboratory settings. And to this end, we designed some immersive virtual environments. For example, you see here a view of high mountains or an Earth view from this space. And these environments were designed to induce feelings of perceptual vastness. Indeed, we found that these immersive spaces were able to induce intensive feeling of awe, even in the lab. So our initial findings suggest that in principle, it is possible to create digital experiences to foster such complex and potentially transformative experiences. In a more recent study, we wanted to test whether virtual reality, art, and nature can create an equally intense sense of awe and sublime. So in this study, we randomly assigned participants from Italy to view one of two 360-degree videos using a virtual reality headset. One was rendering Vincent van Gogh famous painting, The Starry Night, while the second video was a photorealistic panorama of the actual village of Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, France, which is the actual site that Van Gogh depicted in his painting. And this let us compare an earth-based, stimulus with a very similar nature-based environment. And we found that both the painting and the photorealistic village generated feelings of the sublime in participants, regardless of personality traits of the participants and their interest in aesthetics. But to our surprise, the photorealistic village elicited stronger perception of vastness and existential danger. And we learned that in this case, both nature and art are equally good at evoking or bringing about the experience of the sublime, which is a very interesting indication for designing these experiences. So to summarize, my central research question is what are transformative experiences, and if they can be invited or elicited by means of interactive technologies and design. The question brings us to develop a new research program, which is Transformative Experience Design, which has twofold aims: to investigate the key dimensions of transformative experience and to translate such scientific knowledge into design principles for developing digital experience that support, invite, elicit these experiences. So we believe that achieving this goal requires the integration of different disciplines, from psychology to the language of arts and design, to phygital and brain-based technologies, because only by virtue of this contamination we can really explore the full potential of transformative experience. Thank you.
Wow, excellent, Andrea. Thank you so much. And perfect